Hello and welcome to Grade Expectations. I'm your host Grade, and today I have a 25 modern CGC unboxing for you. So a little bit about this unboxing. I submitted this back in July of 2020, so it took 4 months, just over 4 months, 4.5 months to get back to me. And originally I had 50 modern books that I wanted to submit to be graded to CGC. I took a look at them and decided to send 25 as a modern 9.8 pre-screen and then 25 as a modern 9.6 pre-screen. This is the first time I've used the pre-screen option with CGC. And basically when I went through the books, all the 9.8s I thought had a good shot of 9.8 without pressing a clean, so they were submitted without being pressed and cleaned. And then for this box, the 9.6 pre-screen, every one of these comics was pressed and cleaned by Mr. Kendra. So I am excited to get this one back. I know for sure that one of my books was upgraded from the modern tier, I believe, to economy. So the book is over $1,000 for the 90-day average. I've never had a book bumped other than my Ultimate Fallout 4, the 1 in 25 version. So this is new for, like the modern tier getting one bumped. And we'll see if that happens more. So I'm going to go ahead and open the box and let's see what we got. Box looks well packaged, basically this kind of cardboard around the whole thing. I should mention there's going to be a lot of Strange Academy in this group. So basically this is books that I started gathering back in, say, June of 2020 during the pandemic, right up until, say, like January or February. And, these are good books. So with the Strange Academy, I was a believer in that book pretty early. I'm finally getting some of them back from grading. So let's go through it. There are a lot of books here, so I didn't have many misses from the 9.6 pre-screen. Let's go to the first one, and it's a good one. So the first book I have here is Miss Marvel #1. This is the first print, and it's in a 9.8. This is an awesome cover, and I'm actually going to keep this book for my my PC. So I've been a believer in Kamala. This is the only copy of Miss Marvel #1 that I have, and I think it's iconic enough where it's worth something. It's pretty expensive given that there's no first appearance in here, but it's an early Kamala and iconic. I'm definitely not going to be keeping all of these books. I have to feed the machine, so I'll be selling some. I'm not sure what to sell. All right, next we have Marvel Point 1 #1. This is the Bradshaw variant, and this is the first appearance of Sam Alexander, the new Nova. And as you can see, it's got a wraparound cover. Pretty epic cover. So there is like an A cover of this comic, and I hate the cover. And, I haven't bought a single one, whereas this one, I found two that I thought were in pretty high grade. I actually bought one on eBay, and it was not high grade. It was described as near mint, not high grade. I went to return it, and the guy said, I'll come by, and you can swap the book. And he came by, and he had a stack of like 30 of this comic, all loose, all in a bag. And I said, I'm just going to rifle through, and I ended up taking this one and another copy that I thought actually were, in good condition, and the rest, all had color rub, all had dented corners. Super happy to get this one in a 9.8. I'm definitely going to keep a copy of this. I think it's, like a B key. And depending on what they do with Nova, or if they even have Sam Alexander, it could still have room to grow. next up. Oh, we got a second one, also a 9.8. Super happy about that. Like honestly, when you buy a comic cheap like this, so this, like this comic was say 50 US, and pressed and cleaned, and it comes back 9.8. That's a huge profit, and super happy to have two of them. So I'll definitely sell one, even though it is a comic I believe in. It's good money right now. All right. Next is X-Men number 4. Great Jim Lee cover. First appearance of Omega Red. This was not actually purchased. This was in my personal collection from the 90s. I have very few comics from the 90s. However, I thought Omega Red was awesome, so I ended up picking this one up. I did read this comic a couple times, so I would say that that Mr. Kendra's press has done wonders, and it came back in 9.8. It does actually look flawless, so I don't know. Maybe I was gentle when I read it. Cases look good too. I think in the summer I was seeing a lot of people getting damaged cases. The box looks fine, and so far all the cases are good. All right, next. Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. So this came back in 9.6. What I did was I opened 6 of these, like the poly bags, and I was very disappointed with 5 out of the 6. So they all had, say, like rubbing here, like almost like a mechanical rubbing on the bottom staple. And I don't know, like you're opening a poly bag that's opaque. So some had spine ticks. The 2 worst ones I ended up selling for about the same as I bought the poly bag. I sent 3 of these in to be graded at 9.6 or higher. And then the 6th one is behind me, and that's the Stan Lee signed one that I was lucky enough to get. So 9.6 on this is pretty good. The pop count on Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 is reasonably low considering how high Ultimate Fallout 4 is. So this is the second appearance of Miles Morales. It's his origin story, and it is his first solo, and obviously Previews 95 cover. I don't think Previews 95 is worth anything. I think this is worth something. So Previews 95 is not a comic book. Happy to get that in a 9.6 because again, when I originally looked at the 5, I thought maybe 1 had a chance, and then the rest I would have to sell raw. But after a sober second thought, I'm like, we'll give it a shot. All right, next up. All right. We have a 9.8 in this book. This is the book that got the bump from modern to economy. So it is going for about $1,000 US, which is great. And that's the reason I originally bought these poly bags, because they were super cheap. They were like 80 to 100 bucks, back in the fall of last year. And at the time they were going for like 600 US for a 9.8. And there were very few of them. So I figured if I opened, like 6 poly bags, hopefully I would get a 9.8. And so now I have 2 9.8s out of the 6. So that's a big win. I've actually already been contacted to sell this copy. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. $1,000 is a lot, but at the same time, it is a hard book to get into 9.8. And actually, this one does have like the wear on it. Let's see if we can see that. Look at that. So I would assume that's a manufacturer's, they're counting it as a manufacturer's defect. Oh, my camera went weird. I'm assuming they're counting that as a manufacturer's defect, but to me, that's one that I didn't think would make it. Awesome, I'll take it. We'll see if I have trouble selling it. If I do end up selling, to be honest, I'll probably end up selling it based on, like that rub. That was significant. All right. Next book. Another big book. It's funny because they're bumping my Ultimate Spider-Man 1 from modern to economy, but they didn't bump this book. So I did not think I'd get a 9.8 in this. So this is Young Avengers number 1, first appearance of a bunch of new characters. What's her name? Hawkeye, new Hawkeye, Hulkling, and Iron Lad, and I don't know. A lot of buzz on this comic. A lot of people think this is the next Modern Grail. I agree with Spec Collector in that I don't really have a connection to these characters. And they could be building up to Young Avengers, you know, in the Marvel Universe. And I didn't mind going ahead and buying one. I think I paid 160 US for this copy. And, you know, obviously it was in pretty good condition. So I got a 9.8. But it's good profit right now if I sell. So I'm going to have to think about this one because I'll be kicking myself in 5 years if this does become a big book or if, you know, like my son connects with characters like this. So this is one I'm going to be on the fence on, but at the same time it is worth quite a bit of money. So, you know, I'm predisposed to sell. That's a big win though. Super happy to get that in a 9.8. A lot of 9.8s so far. If you saw my last Modern unboxing, it was a while ago, back in April. I felt like I got crucified. Like it wasn't a pre-screen, but I did not get many 9.8s. Next, War of the Realms, New Agent of Atlas number 1. So this is you know, like an Asian superhero team. Lots of first appearances. High likelihood of this being a big book in a couple years. And there was buzz for a little bit back in the spring, and then it's kind of died off. And this is a book that I'll hold on to, given that it's a 9.8 and there's a lot of upside to it. I think this is still very cheap. Like when you consider some books, like, you know, First Echo are like $1,000 or $800. And then this one is, you know, say $160. There's a lot of value in holding on to something like this and selling, you know, First Echo. All right, next. All right, we have Captain Marvel number 8. This is the first appearance of Star. This is the like the A cover. So you can see here the star is yellow. If the star is red, that's the carnageized version. I like this book, and I've had a very hard time actually finding it. So despite the fact that it's not that expensive, there are not a lot of the first appearance of Star floating around. And if there are, it's like there's a Carnage one where it's a like a female Carnage. I don't like that cover. And then there's this one as well as the carnageized version. And I like this A cover the best. So first appearance of Star. I'm going to hold on to this one. I opened a 9.6 before and I ended up selling it. But if it's a 9.8, I'm going to keep it. Super happy with the 9.8s. And I still have a lot of books to go in here. Oh, jeez. Sorry, we have like you can see it. You can see it on the camera. Right there. Look at that. All black cover, and they give me a dirty, like, scuffed case. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 55. This is the Patrick Gleason virgin copy of the second print. So second print's red, first print's white, third print is blue. I went, I would say, reasonably heavy on this comic because I loved the cover, and I feel like over time it will be an iconic cover. And this one came back in 9.8. I'm kind of shocked, which means Gary worked his magic, because I was actually complaining to I complained to Patrick Gleason or his website because these second print ones that I received did not look like they were in good condition. Like the corners were like crunched, and it looks like Gary's worked his magic and kind of uncrunched the corners. So I got a 9.8 on that one. Oh, God. And another one. Another Virgin. Oh, geez. Look at that. I know you can see that. All black cover. Huge scuff on the front. Like quality control at CGC, you can't allow that to go out, especially with an all black cover. So we got another 9.8. This has gone down in value quite a bit since the hype back in January, February. I almost don't think it's worth selling them right now just because they are iconic, and it reminds me of like Hulk 340 or just like a cover that you're going to remember years from now, and they're going to be hard to find. So I did load up on those and did buy Virgin covers. All right, first Strange Academy #1. We have Strange Academy #1 in a 9.6. This is the A cover. I was buying these really cheap, say like 20 US. Not too many, but I started ramping up and I ended up buying between 20 and 80 US each. And they were not plentiful, but they were available back last fall. And I would suggest now you're really not. I haven't seen that many raw copies of this book available. I think I've seen 2 in the last few months, and they were asking more than 100. And is that worth it? I don't know. There's a lot of risk in buying them, a year and a half later if. I just feel like they're more likely to be read, they're more likely to be dinged up. So I was very happy to kind of scoop these up while the price was going up. And I think the price continuing to go up on these was a very good indicator, that it's good spec. And I'm going to have a bunch of these. So first one, 9.6. All right, we have Strange Academy #1, A cover, and this one came back in a 9.8. Which is excellent. I love Strange Academy. I've been reading it since the first one. Humberto Ramos has been great. Scotty Young has been great, and I think they have a very bright future. But I'm not believing that in 2 years it's going to be a Disney Plus show. I think it's just going to be like a long-term spec, but eventually you're not going to be able to find them, and then the price is going to skyrocket as soon as you hear anything. Next, Strange Academy #1, another 9.6. I'm very happy getting 9.6s back. Again, all of these books did have a defect that I caught where I didn't think it would make it to a 9.8. Halfway. Next, Strange Academy #1, another 9.6. Is it possible they're grading this one harder? I don't know. I'll take a look at them. Strange Academy #1 in a 9.6. Strange Academy #1 in a 9.8. This is going for about 300 US now on on eBay for a 9.8. I'm not going to be selling any of the 9.8s. I'm just holding. I'm not in for that much, and I believe in this book over pretty much everything. Another 9.8 in the A cover. I told you I got a lot of them. All right. Next, we have Strange Academy, the 1 in 25. I have a few copies of this book. They're all 9.6s. And finally got a 9.8. So that's great. That's great work from Gary, because I remember this one being a little crunched on edge. I do really like this cover, and I seem to consistently have a copy of this on my wall, just because I like that one. I like the 1 in 50 as well. I have yet to buy one. I think I missed the boat. All right. Next, we have Strange Academy #1. This is the J. Scott Campbell. You can see Over on this side, I have a Strange Academy, the Virgin signed copy. And I love the art on this one. I've been toying with looking into the art for this. I do like the signed Virgin better, of course. Not super jazzed that one's a 9.6 because it doesn't go for the same premium that the A cover goes for. Another J. Scott Campbell one. This one came back in a 9.8, which is super. Okay, so with this one, I don't necessarily recommend buying like 80s and 90s comics that are moderns and submitting them and thinking they're going to come back in 9.6 or 9.8. Like I see a lot of videos, unboxing videos on the internet, and the person will submit all these older comics that have definitely been read and owned and maybe not taken care of, and hoping for 9.8, and they come back much lower, or they just get rejected from the pre-screen. And first of all, this order took a little while, so I did call to see what was going on to CGC, and CGC's customer support's fantastic. But at the same time, I just felt stupid for submitting this book, and I actually requested them to change the pre-screen from a 9.6, which is what all of these are, to a 9.0, hoping that it would make the 9.0 threshold. And somehow, second appearance of Gambit. Just kidding. I think it's the first appearance of Gambit. X-Men 266 in a 9.6. White pages. Definitely has... Oh, jeez. Mr. Kender did a great job. It has like one color breaking spine tick and a couple other little, maybe spine ticks that aren't very noticeable. So this copy looks great. And I really wanted a copy of this to keep. And I didn't think this would be up to snuff, but it looks great. So I'll probably end up keeping this book. I don't think I'm willing to pay for a 9.8 on it, especially with the controversy with the X-Men annual. So just happy to have it. Looks great. Awesome cover. Like, iconic cover. This is Gambit when he's a badass. So happy to have it. Almost done. Next, Strange Academy number 1. Hold on a sec. Gotta love phone alarms. Okay, so we have Strange Academy. This is the Emily Bright character spotlight, and it came back in 9.8. This is probably my favorite Strange Academy 1 cover. And, at the time when this first came out, we didn't know who was going to be the most important student, or if there was. The story has largely focused around Emily Bright, and the cover is amazing. This is an Adams cover, and I don't think this was highly ordered. Like, it makes sense that the most important character would be featured in the first character spotlight, but if you look at the CGC census, this is one of the lowest census books. And I definitely will not be selling any of these ones, because I think if Emily Bright she's the most likely to become an important character in the Marvel Universe moving forward. So, having her first appearance where she's featured in a 9.8 with an awesome cover, possibly an iconic cover, is important. Super happy to have that one. Jeez, there's a lot of 9.8s. Like, we've gone through some 9.6s, but a ton of 9.8s. And another copy of the character Spotlight in a 9.8. Fantastic. All right, that's it. Let's see what didn't make the grade. Okay, the only one not to make it, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. I haven't seen the notes on it. There is a little, like almost, I don't know. Oh, jeez. So hard to do this. You can't see anything. Basically, it's just got a little rub on the bottom corner, which is funny because this is the only one that didn't have, like a manufacturer's defect on the lower staple. So that's all it took. Oh, it's got a little wear on this corner as well, which is weird because it was in a poly bag, and taking them out, I'm pretty careful. So this copy I'm not going to try and resubmit. I'm going to sell it. Only one reject. That means 24 of 25 came back from the 9.6 pre-screen. I think that's a very good return. Felt like I don't know, say between 6 and 8 9.6s, which would mean say 17 to 19 9.8s, and I'm super happy about that. So you can see some of the comics that I was really speccing on last year. A lot of these will be holds. I'm gonna have to kind of go through. Definitely I'll sell some of the Strange Academy 9.6s just because I have a lot of them now. I'll probably sell the Ultimate Spider-Man, given that it did have a manufacturer's defect on it, and try and recoup my money. But buying the raws, finding the good ones on eBay and locally, and then submitting them to be graded is working out just fine for me. So this has been Grade Expectations. I'm Grade. If you enjoyed the video, hit a like. I think they've disabled the dislike button, so sorry about that if you didn't like the video, and I'll see you next time. I do have the 9.8 coming back soon, and I've actually just submitted 75 new modern books to be pressed and cleaned and then submitted. So the next round is off, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Have a good night.